Giannis made some comments about the 65 game mandate in order to be eligible for NBA awards.
Mm-hmm.
And he said a lot, but the direct quote that caught my attention is the margin of error is too hard with the 65 games. He thinks, LeBron is obviously probably going to not be eligible because he missed the large portion of the beginning of the season. Jokic is probably not going to be eligible because he got the injury. Wemby's had a couple of injuries. Giannis has missed some time. And he's saying that he believes that the 65 game mandate essentially should be done away with in order to be eligible for NBA awards. What do you think about that? How do you feel about the 65 game mandate?
The fact that this is a thing is a joke.
I agree.
Like what? Really, like this conversation is so unserious to me.
Yeah.
The fact that we have a 65 game mandate, that it had to be implemented, in order to incentivize these guys that are already, making tons of money to play.
Yeah.
It's clown stuff, dude. Like, get out of here. No. I'm not feeling it, bro, at all.
I tend to agree. I'm like, listen, first of all, load management is training wheels for professional athletes. If you can't handle an 82 game schedule, that's why retirement exists.
Yeah, man.
I mean, listen, the free throw line is 15 feet away. The rim is 10 feet high. The court is 92 feet long. And the season is 82 games long. That's how it is.
94 feet.
94 feet long. Thank you.
No problem.
That's why you the people's champ, man.
I got you back, homie.
This is how it is. I mean, what are we confused about?
It's asinine, man. I don't understand.
If you can't handle the schedule, then retire. I mean, this is an unpopular opinion. NBA careers are not supposed to last for a quarter century. They're not. That's why they haven't.
Yeah. They ain't selling insurance.
That's a long time to be putting your body through what your body goes through as an NBA player. Now, I've never been a professional athlete, and I admire professional athletes. It's a grind. It's a tough endeavor, but you're not entitled to a professional basketball career.
But what job? And let me know. And there may be some, but what high-paying job?
Yeah.
That you get 100% of the spoils for showing up to work 79% of the time.
None.
Like, where does it exist?
It doesn't.
So that's what I'm saying. This conversation's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, I'm not with it at all. Like, I think they should go harder.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, though, what high-paying job does another person has a say on your salary?
I'm sorry?
At what high-paying job does another person who's not in the field has a say on your salary?
Well, I mean, at every job, because all jobs are consumer driven. If the consumer doesn't consume, so if you work at McDonald's, if people don't come in and buy burgers, you ain't got no job. So everywhere, everybody has a say on your
So let's
salary.
say y'all had an NBA award vote.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all think it would be fair for y'all to have a say in the person's salary?
No, not necessarily. But what I'm saying is that the consumer is consuming. So I went to the game on Saturday night, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like I was invited, but let's say I purchased a ticket to go to the game. I expect to see if he's healthy, Cade. I expect to see Jalen Duren. I expect to see Tobias Harris. I expect to see Isaiah Stewart. Now, none of them played. And I understand, listen, if it's a legitimate injury, that's one thing.
Yep.
But if they load managing and resting,
these load management welfare queens running through the NBA,
that's not okay. And that game on Saturday night, them people was that stadium was filled to the rafters.
Go ask the people in New Orleans who bought season tickets when they found out they got the number 1 pick when they got Zion.
Yeah. I mean, so yes, and yes, those fans are responsible in part for the salaries of the players.
That's true.
When they buy tickets, when they buy merchandise, and now, and I'm gonna add this in because the stakes are higher now because now the NBA is asking you to purchase all of these streaming services in order to consume the product now.
Yeah,
so now they want you to buy Amazon Prime and they want you to buy Peacock and they want you to buy Paramount Plus. So now you got to do all of that
and
now.
play Where's Waldo to find your local team to watch them play a damn game.
Exactly. So now the stakes are even higher because you asking the consumer now to kick in even more money in order to consume the product. So yeah,
and your ass showing up 79% of the time.
But it's not the consumer that's voting for MVP. It's not the consumer who's voting for all MVP.
It's the media vote with their wallet.
No, it's the media. But
yeah, I know what. But again, you saying like a fan should have a say in what they want to see.
I never said a fan should have a say. I just that's just my opinion that, like if you show up to work 79% of the time, you shouldn't expect 100% of the benefits.
Right. And again, this is collective.
If I show up to work 79% of the time, I'm not gonna have a job.
Right. But
yeah, like you about to say, like they collectively
yes, they collectively bargain for that.
They have nobody to blame for themselves, but yes, I think that at some point you just need to show up and play. At the same time, it just seems ridiculous that I can have a fluke injury at the wrong time and now I'm missing out a whole bunch of money because of some crazy rule or because some media member feels some type of way. I'm losing out on money as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I agree. So I would split the difference, right? I think that the NBA should have independent physicians.
This is why you're my guy.
I believe that the NBA should have independent physicians, no more team physicians. Because when you see, and again, I mean, I'm probably going to catch some heat for this, but whatever. When you see that a guy is sitting out for knee soreness is not an injury.
Yep.
What's causing the knee soreness is the injury. So is it a ligament sprain?
Yep.
Is it a tendon sprain? All of that's an injury. Knee soreness is not an injury. So, like when you start seeing stuff like that, I'm like, the NBA should have its own physicians because in my opinion, when you see a guy sitting out for knee soreness / management, that's load management.
Yep.
That's what that is. And I agree with you. I mean, again, I said guys sitting out for legitimate injuries is one thing, but guys sitting out basically to manage the amount of games that they playing, no, we've already managed the amount of games that you playing, 82. That's the management. We've decided how many games you playing. Go ahead.
No, it's crazy that you mentioned that because, while I was taking notes on the topics for the show, I said, to your point, the league, I think, should set up, call it whatever you want, a medical monitoring team separate to correspond with team doctors, players' personal doctors.
Yes.
The player's agent.
Yeah.
And that way they can find out for sure, all right, what's the severity of the injury? How far can this go? What the entire parameters of it. So that way they can kind of curb some of this stuff. Because obviously the 65-game mandate was to try to curb some of the load management.
Yes.
And of course now the players are pushing back, which, they're going to do. So I think one of the ways that maybe they can kind of circumvent that is just to leave it to a separate party.
Yes.
With the appropriate, certified brain trust involved.
Yes.
And whatever, I don't know what system you set up where you deem what injuries are quote unquote legitimate.
Correct.
And requires different variables of load management. And then where there's some where you're gouging.
Or you can grade injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like grade 1 injury, you can miss, those don't count against the 65 game. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't fleshed out exactly how to do it.
And say if they exceed that grade typical recovery time,
correct,
then another exam's required by this independent medical. You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
If that checks out, Well, yeah, you pay them because
Yeah.
they're injured. You get what I'm saying?
Or you make them award eligible, because I know what
Yeah.
nephew was saying, because those all NBA selections
cost you money on the back end.
yes, they determine whether or not you are eligible for a max or a super max deal. So when they don't hit those 65 game thresholds and they're not eligible for those awards, when they go back to renegotiate the contract,
sure.
you haven't hit that all NBA benchmark.
And
So
I hear Neff, but I'm more so geared my argument towards the guys that go into training camp talking about we load managing.
yeah, I mean, right.
Like going into training camp.
Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, like
me.
I'm not playing back to backs.
Yeah, that's
like
ridiculous
LeBron
to me.
basically said that in his interview. He like, I'm, he was like, I'm up in the air on all back to back. I mean, he said that being interviewed, like jokingly, but he said it. He
Right.
like, I'm up. Look, I'm basically up in the air. And again, he 41 years old, so maybe he's the extreme example.
Well,
but
there's a place for 41-year-old basketball players.
Right.
It's called the TV studio.
Right. Or LA Fitness.
Yeah, or the crib.
Right.
And just like on the final note, I'm not saying this again. This is something I'm not saying will ever happen or anything, but you're 1 or 2 crazy seasons away from some fourth option on the team qualifying for the Supermax. If they have 2 crazy years and they get on the All NBA third team 2 times, now they're eligible for a Supermax. So
Right.
you also got to. I mean, it's a finicky situation, but I do agree. At the end of the day, you should be awarded for playing.
Yes, I mean, right. We want to see players play. But yeah, so not to belabor that, but I like the 65 game mandate. I think that perhaps you could add some caveats to it so that it's not too punitive. But all in all, I think it's a good way to cut down on some of the load managing that is happening. And I think that a conversation about load management itself is probably in the cards the next time they come together and talk about the next collective bargaining agreement.